and I welcome you all in today's class. So before starting, let me confirm once whether I am audible and visible or not. So I think I'm audible and visible. So let's start with the session. And before going into our today's lecture of question practice session, I would like to tell you few important points about Unacademy. तो स्टूडेंट्स अनअकैडमी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आपको मिलता है डेली लाइव क्लासेस इन द प्लस सब्सक्रिप्शन, जहाँ पे आप इंडिया के बेस्ट एजुकेटर्स के साथ लाइव इंटरैक्टिव क्लासेस अटेंड कर सकते हो. एंड इन दिस लाइव क्लासेस यू कैन आस्क योर डाउट्स. ठीक है, क्लास के टाइम पे आपको कुछ भी डाउट हो रहा है, कुछ भी चीज़ें आपको नहीं समझ में आती हैं, तो वो आप उसी समय अपने एजुकेटर से चैट बॉक्स में पूछ सकते हैं. और यहाँ पे आपको मिलती है बहुत सारी टेस्ट सीरीज और क्विज सेशंस टाइम टू टाइम, जिसके थ्रू आप अपने परफॉर्मेंस को इवेलुएट करते हो. साथ ही साथ यहाँ आपको मिलता है स्ट्रक्चर्ड कोर्सेज एज वेल एज सारी कोर्सेज का पीडीएफ मींस प्रिपरेटरी मटेरियल. तो विथ ऑल दीज बेनिफिट्स अनअकैडमी जो है वो आपको बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड करता है फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन प्रिपरेशन. एंड इंडिया के टॉप के एजुकेटर्स जो है बच्चे अपनी अपनी कैटेगरी के, वो आपके लिए लाइव क्लासेस लेते हैं यहाँ पे. एंड हियर देयर आर डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज ऑफ क्लासेस लाइक आइकॉनिक सब्सक्रिप्शन क्लासेस, देन यहाँ पे है आपके लिए प्लस कोर्सेज, देन यहाँ पे है बच्चे आपके लिए स्पेशल क्लासेस, एंड देन बच्चे यहाँ पे आपके लिए है बहुत सारे क्विज सेशन और टेस्ट सीरीज. तो अनअकैडमी के प्लेटफॉर्म पे आपके लिए बहुत सारे बेनिफिट्स, बहुत सारे तरीके हैं जिसके थ्रू आप पढ़ाई कर सकते हो. यू हैव टू जस्ट फोकस ऑन योर स्टडी, यू हैव टू जस्ट फोकस ऑन योर एग्जाम. एंड if you are interested to take Unacademy Plus subscription, so you can get the subscription by downloading the Unacademy Learning app. And app में login करने के बाद you can select the Get Subscription option. Now सब्सक्रिप्शन के डिफरेंट प्लान्स आपके पास आ जाएंगे. जितनी टाइम पीरियड आपकी है एग्जामिनेशन और टाइम के बीच में, एग्जामिनेशन में जितनी टाइम है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप सब्सक्रिप्शन ले सकते हो. सो लेट्स से यू आर टेकिंग सब्सक्रिप्शन फॉर 12 मंथ. So if you will use my code Surbhi01, then you will get 10% off on this overall price. यहाँ पे फ्लैट 10% ऑफ आपको मिल जाएगा अगर आप मेरा कोड है Surbhi01 वो यूज करो. And also you can use my code to unlock all the free classes. So announcement for new crash courses. So 60 days crash course for physical sciences, 60 days crash course for mathematical sciences and 60 days crash course for chemical sciences. ये सारे नए बैचेस जो है बच्चे वो 31 मार्च से स्टार्ट हुए हैं. तो जो बच्चे भी इनरोल करना चाहते हैं वो जल्द से जल्द इन सारे नए बैचेस में अपने आप को इनरोल कर सकते हैं. Now let's start with the lecture. So this is the first question in today's lecture. Solve this and write down your answer in the comment. Then we will discuss. चलिए बच्चे इसका आंसर दे दीजिए जल्दी से सब लोग. हाँ जी बच्चे, आंसर which statement is false when comparing aerobic to anaerobic respiration. So you have to choose the wrong statement regarding comparison between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So write down your answers in the comment. Okay, so let's see which statement is false. So let's see the statement. First statement is both processes will produce pyruvate. Okay, this is true because whether it is anaerobic condition or whether it is aerobic condition, in both these conditions, glycolysis step is common. So glycolysis is common. So both the processes involve conversion of glucose into pyruvate. So this step is common. So both processes produces pyruvate. This is true. Aerobic respiration is responsible for the muscle pain during heavy exercise. This is incorrect because whenever you do heavy exercise, so heavy exercise के time पे क्या होता है? The pyruvate that is being produced rapidly undergo conversion into lactic acid. Okay, and this lactic acid accumulation will cause muscle pain. So this conversion of pyruvate into lactic acid that usually happens under anaerobic condition. अगर aerobic condition होता then this pyruvate will undergo TCA cycle, but if it is anaerobic condition then it will go under the conversion of lactic acid, and this is anaerobic condition. So aerobic condition will produce muscle pain. No, this is wrong. Statement C, aerobic respiration creates more ATP. Yeah, this is right. Both processes begin with glycolysis. This is also correct. So A, C and D, these three options are correct with respect to aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And B is incorrect or false. So is this clear? False? This question is clear, students? ये क्वेश्चन क्लियर है सबको? Let me know, students, if you have any doubt. चलो फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे. Solve this question. चलिए बच्चे इसको सॉल्व कीजिए. Okay. So in liver, the accumulation of which of the following metabolite will attenuate the inhibitory effect on ATP of phosphofructokinase? So the question is, which of the following metabolite will be accumulated so that the inhibitory effect of ATP on phosphofructokinase is inhibited? So the enzyme phosphofructokinase basically catalyzes the conversion of fructose 6 phosphate into fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, and this enzyme activity is influenced by the presence of a metabolite fructose 2,6 bisphosphate. The accumulation of this fructose 2,6 bisphosphate will attenuate the activity of phosphofructokinase. Clear, students? Fructose 2,6 bisphosphate will attenuate the activity of phosphofructokinase. So next question पे move करते हैं. Now solve this. सॉल्व कर लेंगे बच्चे। While running a marathon, an individual feels pain and burning sensation in her legs. Okay, so burning sensation and pain feel हुआ legs में. So one of the reason is the conversion of pyruvate into lactic acid, which the body does in order to. Okay, so this process of conversion of pyruvate into lactic acid usually happens because, so whenever higher amount of pyruvate is there, so during glycolysis when pyruvate is formed, so apart from pyruvate the other product is NADH also. So this NADH keeps on accumulating when there is high rate of glycolysis. So in order to regenerate NAD plus from NADH, this pyruvate get converted into lactic acid, and during this conversion this NADH get converted into NAD plus. तो एट हैवी एक्सरसाइज और जब आप दौड़ रहे हो तो उस टाइम पे क्या होता है, पायरुवेट लैक्टिक एसिड में कन्वर्ट होता है इन ऑर्डर टू रीजेनरेट NAD plus from NADH. So this reaction pyruvate to lactic acid is there in order to regenerate NAD plus from NADH. So the answer is option A. Pyruvate to lactic acid conversion क्यों होता है? To synthesize NAD plus from NADH. So option A is correct here. Is this clear, everyone? Okay, so let's move to next question then. Question: is which choice accurately states the amount of ATP produced in a single glucose molecule in an anaerobic environment and in an aerobic environment? Aerobic or anaerobic condition में what is the amount of ATP produced from one glucose molecule? Okay? एक ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल जो है वो ओवरऑल कितने एटीपी बनाता है एरोबिकली एंड एनएरोबिकली? So write down your answers. Done. So which choice accurately states the amount of ATP in a single reaction, single glucose molecule? So the right answer here is option A. So during anaerobic respiration, the total amount of ATP produced 2, and during anaerobic respiration, the total amount of ATP produced is 30. Okay, anaerobically only ATP is produced during glycolysis, but aerobic condition में ATP is produced during glycolysis, during TCA cycle as well as during electron transport chain. So यहाँ पे amount of ATP synthesis will be more, and during anaerobic the amount of ATP synthesis will be less. So right answer is option A. So solve this question now. solve this question, students. चलिए बच्चे सॉल्व कीजिए सारे लोग. Okay, so let's see this question now. So how many molecules of ATP would be produced and available for use if 4 molecules of glucose were used during anaerobic respiration? So importantly, first thing is this respiration is anaerobic. So if respiration is anaerobic, from one glucose, the total amount of ATP that is produced and available for use. So produced is 4. The total amount of ATP produced during glycolysis is 4. But number of ATP that is available for use, it is only 2 ATP because 2 is already consumed. So for 1 glucose, there is 2 ATP. For 4 glucose, how many ATPs are there? 8 ATPs will be there for utilization. So right answer here is option D. During glycolysis, if there are 4 glucose molecules, then total amount of ATP that is present for use is 8 ATP. From 1 glucose, 2 ATPs will be there for utilization. So from 4 glucose, 8 ATP molecules will be there. Is this clear? So let's go to next question then. Next question ये रहा बच्चे. Solve this. Solve this question everyone. So solve कीजिए and write down your answer in the comment. Done. चलिए देखते हैं. Which of the following does not occur in mitochondria? So right answer is option B. Yes, Konika, right. Pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, it occurred in mitochondrial matrix. TCA cycle, ये भी कहाँ होता है? माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल मैट्रिक्स में. ऑक्सीडेटिव फॉस्फोराइलेशन ये कहाँ होता है? इनर माइटोकॉन्ड्रियल मेम्ब्रेन में. ग्लाइकोलाइसिस कहाँ होता है बच्चे? ग्लाइकोलाइसिस होगा साइटोप्लाज्म के अंदर. So apart from glycolysis, these three will occur in mitochondria, but glycolysis will occur in cytoplasm. So let's move to next question. Solve this. सॉल्व करिए इसको। What phase of cellular respiration has the highest ATP? Yes, D is the right answer. So during oxidative phosphorylation, during electron transport chain, highest amount of ATP is produced. During glycolysis, during Krebs cycle, ATP is produced but amount is very less. During glycolysis, only 4 ATP is produced. During Krebs cycle, 4 ATP is produced, direct ATP. But during oxidative phosphorylation, large number of ATPs are produced from NADH and FADH. Okay? So highest amount of ATP production will happen during the oxidative phosphorylation. Going to next question. Solve this question now. चलिए, done. Let's see this. So during aerobic respiration, which of the following pathways correctly describe the metabolism after glycolysis? So after glycolysis, next step is pyruvate will be converted into acetyl coenzyme A. And during this conversion, we know that this reaction involves, first of all, decarboxylation of pyruvate. पायरुवेट के पास जो कार्बोक्सिलिक ग्रुप होता है ये रिमूव हो जाता है वाया decarboxylation. So the first step after glycolysis is decarboxylation of pyruvate lead to the synthesis of acetyl coenzyme A. Then acetyl coenzyme A will enter into citric acid cycle or TCA cycle. And here TCA cycle will produce NADH and FADH2. And these NADH2 and FADH2 will enter into the oxidative phosphorylation for ATP production. So the order is pyruvate decarboxylation, then citric acid cycle, and then oxidative phosphorylation. Option D. Clear, students? Any doubt here? So let's move to next question then. Here is your next question. Solve this. चलिए इसको सॉल्व के लिए इन मेटाबॉलिज्म NAD is involved in. Solve this question. Solve this question. Okay. So NAD is involved in what kind of reaction? NAD plus will accept H plus and get converted into NADH, and it will donate the proton and gets converted into NAD plus. So basically NAD is involved in accept, it will either accept a proton or it will either donate a proton. So this kind of reactions जहाँ पे H plus का acceptance या फिर डोनर हो रहा है, कोई मॉलिक्यूल डोनेशन हो रही है, एक्सेप्टेंस या फिर डोनेशन हो रही है, so these type of reactions are redox reactions जहाँ पे H plus का exchange होता है. So these type of reactions are known as redox reaction. So NAD plus is usually involved in these kind of redox reactions. ठीक है बच्चे? So right answer is option C. Yes, right Connie. Redox reaction is the right answer. Moving to next question. Solve this. Sorry. So we are discussing this, that which of the following cellular structure should be encoded by mitochondrial DNA only. Okay, so mitochondrial DNA से कौन से enzymes encode होंगे? The enzymes that are associated with electron transport chain, because glycolytic enzymes, sodium potassium pump or growth hormone, they all are associated with organelles that are outside the mitochondrial. Okay, so mitochondrial DNA से सिर्फ वही enzymes encode होंगे जो कि mitochondria के अंदर काम करें. So that is electron transport chain enzymes. Clear? Yeah, the Wi-Fi got disconnected. That's why connection error हो गया था कॉनी का. Wi-Fi issue was there. So answer is B. Next question is here. Solve this question. Solve this question, student. The relative concentration of ATP and ADP. Okay, so ATP and ADP. This ratio will control the rates of. Okay, ये जो ratio है वो किस चीज को कंट्रोल करेगा? Apart from all these, glycolysis, oxidative phosphorylation, pyruvate oxidation, TCA cycle, or all of these. Okay, so the ratio of ATP and ADP. So let's assume a situation when ATP concentration is very high. तो जब ATP concentration बहुत ज़्यादा होगा तो क्या glycolysis होगा? नहीं. क्या ऑक्सीडेटिव फॉस्फोराइलेशन होगा? नो. पायरुवेट ऑक्सीडेशन होगा? नो. TCA cycle होगा? No. When ATP concentration is very high, all these processes will be inhibited. When ATP concentration is very low, then all these processes will be increased. The rate of all these processes will be increased. So depending upon the concentration of ATP and ADP, the rate of glycolysis or oxidative phosphorylation or TCA cycle will be determined. So the answer for this question is all of the above. Okay, students? Right. Next question is here. Solve this. Solve this question, everyone. चलिए स्टूडेंट सॉल्व कीजिए इसको। ओके, डी और अच्छा चलिए देखते हैं इसका आंसर क्या है। इन सबस्ट्रेट लेवल फॉस्फोडाइलेशन, सबस्ट्रेट लेवल फॉस्फोडाइलेशन में क्या होता है? So during substrate level phosphorylation, any component, let's say we talk about phosphoenol pyruvate. So this phosphoenol pyruvate will react with ADP, ठीक है, and this phosphoenol pyruvate will donate its inorganic phosphate to this ADP. So here the substrate will react to form a product and the product will have high energy bond. So here the substrate, that is phosphoenol pyruvate, will react with ADP and will donate its inorganic phosphate to ADP, and ADP will get converted into ATP having a high energy phosphoryl bond, and this is the substrate level phosphorylation. Clear? D क्या बोल रहा है? Oxidation of one molecule of substrate is linked to the synthesis of more than one ATP molecule. This is not the definition of substrate level phosphorylation. Substrate level phosphorylation ये बोलता है कि एक substrate जो है वो inorganic phosphate donate करेगा जिसकी वजह से ATP के साथ bind करेगा और ATP बनाएगा. So inorganic phosphate is released from a substrate and this is known as substrate level phosphorylation because here the inorganic group जो कि ATP से attach हो रहा है, this inorganic group is obtained from a substrate and that's why it is substrate level phosphorylation. Is this clear? Definition of substrate level phosphorylation. Clear students? Okay, so that's all for today's lecture and for today's question practice session. If you have any doubt in today's lecture, let me know. If you have any doubt, और अगर किसी को doubt नहीं है, then this is good. So that's all. And if you are new to this channel, channel को subscribe कर लो, बेल आइकन हिट कर देना ताकि जब भी मेरी कोई क्लास आए लाइव तो उसका नोटिफिकेशन आपके पास चला जाए और आप लाइव क्लास में आ जाओ, ठीक है। एंड इफ यू वांट टू ज्वाइन माय क्लास ऑन अनअकैडमी, तो अनअकैडमी के ऊपर CSIR UGC नेट की कैटेगरी में आप मेरी क्लासेस फॉलो कर सकते हो। उसके लिए आपको अनअकैडमी लर्निंग ऐप डाउनलोड करनी है। ऐप में जाकर यू हैव टू सेलेक्ट योर गोल एट CSIR UGC नेट। नाउ इन दिस कैटेगरी आप जाओगे स्पेशल क्लासेस, ठीक है, बिकॉज मैं वहाँ पे स्पेशल क्लासेस लेती हूँ जो कि बच्चे बिल्कुल फ्री होती हैं। So if you want to attend my free special classes on Unacademy, then you can follow me there. और वहाँ पे मेरी more than 100 classes available हैं जो कि सारी classes आप देख सकते हो बिल्कुल free में. And if you want to unlock those classes for free, then you can use my code SURBHI01. Okay, this is my code and you can use this to unlock the free classes. And if you are interested in plus subscription, then also you can use my code to get 10% discount. So that's all student for today's lecture. Thank you so much and keep studying.